Hello, friends. Welcome to Fierce Street. As you know, we like to keep it extra over here on this street. And we're going to shake up our thank yous a little bit because our Patreons get thanked on social media every month for being a friend.
Thank you for being a friend.
Dun, dun, dun. But yeah, we have a few too many Patreons to tag. So we're going to make annoying videos saying thank you for your money and let's do bad things like rent movies to talk about. And so we're gonna try this out and see how it feels. And if we like it, we'll do this instead of those like posts that we normally do. So let us do this first thing and see how it feels and flows. Let's kick it off with some names that you might know. And if you don't know, you should know. First up, thank you, Alma Clark from A Nightmare on 5th Street and Horror Movie Blog. You should follow both of those and Alma because Alma's lovely. We've had her on a few times, and we will again.
Many times.
Yes.
Especially for Chucky. She's a Chucky stan, like we are here for it.
She was basically our unofficial co-host for the Chucky minisodes this season. And I will do it again if we renew Chucky. Hashtag renew Chucky. Tweet it, Facebook it, Instagram it.
Yes. And next we need to thank Anthony Jerome, who has also been a guest on the pod, who we love so much. And we have to have them back at some point when we get our lives together.
Listen. Anthony just go and move on in. Anthony also has a podcast called Fuck You Hexed. It's on hiatus right now. But if enough of us listen and bother Anthony, maybe it'll come back. Next up on our thank you tour is BB Cooper. They are my friend from Chicago and they are amazing. And you should definitely follow them if they are back on social media. I need to double check that.
Yeah. Next we have my good Judy from the bar. You know, bar folks are the best folks. Bob Cole, who's a big horror fan, and I just got to get to know him in the last year, and he's so great, so supportive, and love him and his wife Amanda.
Ooh, a twofer. Next up on this tour, we have Chels. Chels has probably more podcasts than I do. If you're not following Chels on Twitter, you should. I think it's now called NR Rewatch. I should know that. I co-host the Yellow Jacket stuff over there. That is Chels' main podcast. It talks about Drag Race almost year round because there's almost Drag Race all year round now. And has other friends that we've had on the show and we'll have on the show again.
Yes. Speaking of someone we've had on the show and we'll have on the show again, because we love her and love is in her name, the lovely love, Chris Love. Every time, go back and drink every time I said love. Everybody said love.
Everybody. We owe her an email because we're going to invite her to do a movie that I know she's going to hate. But I think she'll say yeah because she likes us. Thanks, Chris.
Yes. And she's also solely responsible for keeping Arizona afloat. So you know what? Girl, you're doing the work and we love you.
Listen. Up next, we have the other half of Horror Movie Blog's co-founders. That was not a sentence. We have the other co-founder of Horror Movie Blog and Nightmare on 5th Street, Dahlia DeLeon. She's taking a quick hiatus from the horror space right now, but we still love Dahlia. I'm going to bother Dahlia when we're done with this because I said her name 9 times. And so clearly I need to bother her.
Is that like a Bloody Mary? If you say it in front of a mirror 5 times, she'll appear?
I appear. Dahlia hates it.
Fair. Next we have Danny Villanueva, and if I'm mispronouncing the name, please let us know and we'll fix it for next time. But Danny Villanueva Jr., thank you so much for your support. We love you here on Fierce Street.
That's one of the filmmakers that does support us on the Patreon, and I can't wait to see Danny's movie. They've Instagrammed about it a few times, and also I just interact with other writers, bothering them. While we're keeping the thanks tour bus going, we have to say thanks to D180 or Destination 180. If you don't know AJ and the squad, you should, because more Black horror podcasts, please. We've had them on for Carrie to the Rage.
And she is my fellow Midsommar Stan account. So here we are.
She was here when I was busy that entire time you wanted to record that episode. Yeah.
Yes. Next, we have someone else we have to send our love to, Dylan. And again, if I'm mispronouncing that, let me know and we'll change it for next time. But thank you so much for supporting us here on Fierce Street.
Yes, yes, yes. Same to Eric Riley, who's been with us for a hot minute. Eric's delightful. I need to bother Eric more often, actually.
Yes. Next, our good sis, the lovely glitter burrito, aka Jamie. I don't know if it's supposed to be flip flopped. I don't know I don't know what she wants me to say sometimes, but Jamie, you know we love her. We've had her on at least 30,000 times, and we'll have her on another 30,000 times. So hopefully you love her too.
The second her boxes are unpacked, she's getting an email and it's like, "Hi, guess what? You're back on the show, right?" And she knows that. I am also, oh wow, some other people that we have on the show very frequently. We just recorded an episode with them right before doing this. Jazz and Kat from Girl That's Scary. If you do not listen and follow to Girl That's Scary, I will find you.
Yeah, that joke I made about the mirror, that's gonna happen. It's like Candyman.
It is Candy Lady.
Yes, and rolling on along. Next, we need to thank Jesse Salisbury. Thanks so much for supporting us here on Fear Street.
I know Jesse from theaters. That's awesome. I am also here for Stan the Mechanic, our horror host with the most, who is a longtime supporter of Fear Street. We've had Stan on for so many shenanigans, and we will again. Stan cannot get rid of us. I won't let him happen. I won't let him.
Yes. And moving on along to someone who makes me laugh every time they're on the podcast, Josh Corngut makes me laugh from my gut. Yeah.
Mr. Guts. We snatched like a year of Josh's life last year. Like a year of his life was put on our street. And you know what? Everybody's welcome. Yes. Next up, we have our Doc J, Julie Ray Mullenkamp. If you heard our Tigers Not Afraid episode, then you heard us crying about Issa Lopez's work with our mentor. Yeah.
Yes. I think both of us could say that we are both who we are today because a large part because of that woman. So
listen.
Love you, Doc J.
Listen.
Next, we have Kate S. Miles.
Yes, I got to meet Kate in Salem, and it was so nice because like I've been bothering Kate online and in our Patreon and our Discord for at least 2.5 years. At least if Kate wasn't a day one, like a day two. And so I was like, oh my God, you're a real person and we're almost the same height. And it was very fun. It was very fun.
Yes, love it.
Up next, we have Kelly, who I'm pretty sure used to be on Twitter and then maybe not on Twitter or maybe changed the name because but we still love you, Kelly. If you see this, we still love you.
Absolutely. And I, as someone who also left the Twitter/X verse, I don't blame you, girl.
She Twitter. She will forever be Twitter.
Don't tell the owner that.
What he got to do?
What's he got to do? Got to do with it?
He ain't got a job, that's for
sure. But next we have Kimberly Leanne to thank for her support on Fear Street.
Me and Kimberly talk almost every day. Like I'm realizing how many people in here I may become my friend. And I think that is another reason to start a podcast. And also up next, we have Christy with an I, not a Y. Don't get it twisted. Thank you with an I.
Yes. And next we have Lisa. If I mispronounce your name, I'm really sorry. I'm from Arkansas. I haven't got an Arkansas education here, but I'm going to try my best. And hopefully I get it right. Maybe I get it right. You never know. Lisa Macronopoulos, thank you for your support. And again, let me know if I just butchered your name. I'm so sorry.
Listen, we can change last names or first names if we fuck them all up. Because again, Arkansas and Missouri, we can change those if you just like hit us, call us, beep us if you want to reach us. And for the next video, we'll be like, well. We got it right now. I'm gonna keep the thank you train moving with Mary, Meri, not Merry. I knew a Merry Christmas. She was an awful person who could call in to Lyric Opera. And also there's Mary's Mary. And so we want you to know it's Mary, Mery. Put some respect on her name or their name. I don't know Mary personally.
Boom. Next we have Michael B from People Under the Scares. Michael, we got to have y'all on the show like ASAP.
It's been time. I'm embarrassed on our behalf. Secret somebody else, we owe another invite to Midge Munster because Midge Munster went to school with us and is that bitch 100%. For those of y'all who don't have friends, that is a respectful term for your friends to be like that bitch. For those of you,
because she is
Go to her YouTube channel and tell me she's not. Tell me she's not.
Boom. Boom. Someone else that we've had on the show before, and we need to have them back because I love to hear them fight with Sheree, and I don't have to as much. But Mike Unofficial, who also loves Blair Witch Project 2, and Sheree and him, or Sheree and them, will fight over that. And I'll eat my popcorn. I'll bring my popcorn for that one.
Y'all need to go listen to the Blair Witch episode because I was not the only one gagged. Mike came in with hot takes, Lord of the hot takes. And that's why I'm excited for their podcast to finally start. If you're listening to this, Mike, start your podcast. Start your podcast. Me and Yutaka will be back to remind you tomorrow. Start your podcast.
Everyone go to their social media and bully them into starting their podcast.
We need it now. We need it now. Release the tapes. Release the footage. Up next is Naisha Horn. Let me know because if I'm right for either of those, if I'm wrong for both, please let me know because like we've interacted, but like I've not actually heard the name. And again, I am from Missouri and I am half a bottle of wine into my evening. So let me know. And I will apologize and do better.
Yes. And same for the next one for me, Nina Van Heeswick. Thank you so much for your support. And again, if I mispronounce your name, please let me know so I can fix it in the future. Yeah, thank you.
Nina's fun. We be interacting on the Patreon. Just so if y'all are not aware, when you interact with us, Instagram is usually Trent, Patreon and Twitter usually me, and Facebook most often Trent. So that's who you're talking to. If we forget to tell you who you're talking to, because I know sometimes like a faceless person.
We should have like signatures.
We do. I think people can tell because, like, again, you're a Taurus and I'm a Gemini, and we just have different energies to conversations about things. I'll see when you talk to somebody, you're like, "Oh yeah, that's rude. That happened," and I come in, I'm like, "I hate that man. I hope he got his paper cuts in his toes." And so I think that they know. I think they know, but whatever. Up next is one of my favorite people I met in a pandemic as well. There's so many of them on this list. But Quincy, who I am trying to make come to a watch party this month, actually, because we're opening up that clubhouse because it's summer and we're not going outside in this heat.
Boom. Truly. Next up we have Rachel Berkovich. Someone who interacts a ton on our socials. They're so lovely. Thank you so much for your support and continuing to interact with us. So great.
I love that Rachel Berkovich is before Rachel Annette because we were introduced to Rachel Berkovich through Rachel Annette. Rachel Annette is a fabulous playwright who lives in the Twin Cities with me, my best friend in this area. We're going to go get drunk and have hot pot for my birthday this weekend. And so thank you, Rachel, for this money too.
Yes. And check out local plays because they are an incredible playwright. And yes.
They won the Yale Drama Prize for a reason, y'all. Also, they wrote for the Winchesters. So if you are a Supernatural Stan account and you follow that franchise, you've definitely seen Rachel's name on an episode. Maybe not with vampires. I don't want to ruin that for you if you've not seen it.
Truly. Next up, we've got Scary Stuff Podcast. Love podcasts on Podcast Love. And sending it right back to you.
They've been a day one. Like we opened the Patreon and they were like, "Hello." And I feel seen. I am also here to thank Suzanne Storr, who's also been with us for so long. I don't remember the Patreon before Susan. And so thank you for being a friend.
Travel down the road and back again, literally. It's been like a couple years now.
And to be fair, some of these people have seen us figure out what to do with a Patreon, and they've seen us spend their money on bad movies. Like they had to watch us rent some real bombs, and they still were like, "I'll see you next month. Don't do this again." And I'm like, "That's fair." What?
Or they may love our bad movie episodes because they're really funny usually.
Sometimes those do real well. Like I Expect You to Last Summer got way more listens than it should have because I was like, this will be listened to by 3 people, and it's us and the guest. Did real well.
And here we are. Next up, we have to send our love and thanks to Veronica Sixsmith. Thanks for the support.
Yes. And last, but definitely not least, because we love Yutaka Tamanaha. I just fucking butchered that. I'm going to take it again. We talk about names because Yutaka and I are both like, I know your names. I got to say your name. And that's what friends are for. But Yutaka Tamanaha
That
Yes.
sounds right.
Yes. And if I'm saying that wrong, it's really a problem. You should correct me. You just should, Yutaka.
If it's
but
really
like,
a problem, you know how to get in touch with her.
listen, I bother Yutaka at least 3 times a day. I cannot be shamed. I'm just like, do you know how to find so and so? Do you know what so and so got? But yes, Yutaka has been around forever, and is now in our Patreon. And because like we can find them easier in our Patreon Discord, we're just like, what are you doing Thursday? Be on the show. And so definitely have them on for a couple of tricky mini-sodes. So you've seen Yutaka on the street, and you should follow Yutaka in all of their projects, including Horror Hour TV. I know it does not feel good in my spirit, so I know I butchered it. But again, I am half bottle of wine for dinner. I have had half a bottle of wine for dinner.
I think you just proved your point.
I said I am half a bottle of wine for dinner, and I don't know what that means, but I'm about that energy. 'Tis Gemini season. So yes. Thank you all for all of your fun times with the Patreon and the Discords, and for all of your hard-earned doll hairs, because capitalism is real. You ain't gotta give a shit. And you decide to every month, even though we give you 3 shenanigans in a trench coat. And that's why we love each and every one of you.
Yes. Thank you all so much for listening and supporting us and watching this video and supporting us here on Fierce Street. As always, make sure that you stay fierce out there.
Bye.